and this is the Sega Genesis Collection, or Sega Genesis Classics as they call it. I'm having to do this one a little bit differently. Apparently, I can't figure out how to record audio with PC games, and this is the PC version that I bought. There is kind of a PC version. It's kind of a weird situation that they've done with that. Because over the years, they've been releasing Genesis games on Steam for a long time now, under a Sega Genesis Classics Collection banner. For like 5 or 6 years now. But just now they decided, I guess, to patch the program that they've been creating on Steam to match it to the console versions of this collection that they just released, which is a really weird situation. I have never seen a game do that before. And what that has basically done is basically confused everybody. I don't think most people know that this PC version exists. And I'm having to do post commentary, which I don't really like to do, but I'm gonna have to do it. And of course, you can see the room looks the same, but a lot better, to be honest. I mean, that lighting is actually pretty good. You have input options, console settings, all the good stuff. And then you get back to the game library. Like I said, they've been releasing games on the PC for a while now. The PC version actually includes some missing games from the console version. Echo the Dolphin, Echo the Tides of Time, and Echo Jr. Along with Eternal Champions, and yes, you probably see it already, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is on the PC version of the Sega Genesis Collection. Not only that, but it's $10 cheaper than the console versions. I don't understand why they did this. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if maybe they just thought that... maybe something to do with the fact that they couldn't get it to the PS4. I don't know. But there is... The identical collection on Steam does have the missing games that people really, really want from the collection. And it's not a bad port either. I haven't noticed... I'm not actually very picky when it comes to ports, unless it just runs like complete crap, like the Game Boy version of Sonic 1. I usually don't notice. I won't notice a frame skip here or there, so I can't say the ports are perfect. But they're good enough for me to have some fun with them. And yeah, it's been a long time since I've played Sonic 3. Or any Sonic game, really. Any of the old ones, I mean. I've just been dabbling in them since I got the collection here. I think I mentioned it, but it's $10 cheaper than the console version. It's only $30. You get 59 games with that. 59. Because it includes the 3 Echoes, Eternal Champions, this, and the bundle also, for whatever reason, comes with this Sonic CD. Which, a downloadable version of that will usually set you back about $10 just by itself in most digital platforms. Unless you wait for a sale. So this collection is actually extremely good. I mean, that's 50 cents a game. That's spectacular. And that blows everything Nintendo's been doing with their mini collections out of the water. I'm not saying the game selection is as good, because Nintendo, being very selective with the games they present, obviously has better quality overall. But just with the fact that Sega's putting everything out there all at once for such a cheap price is phenomenal. Other companies could actually stand to start doing that. Granted, as others have said, you probably have most of them, and the console versions are missing some key games. I still don't exactly know why. But yeah, if you want those key games, you can always go on Steam. That's kind of why I'm making this, because people don't really seem to be noticing that. That the Steam collection has been rebranded. It has everything that the newly released console collection has, and more. It also has more on top of that we will get to in just a minute. In fact, I think we'll get to it right now. Yep. The PC version of the Genesis Collection has Steam Workshop support. So you get all sorts of fun little mods to give you something that you've never actually seen in these games. The frame rate's a little jonky, but Again, it's not something that I really notice very much. I guess some people would. Honestly, I think Sonic had slowdown issues in the first place. I don't remember it running flawlessly. Maybe it did. Maybe I'm just... I don't know. Maybe my memory's just awful. It usually is. Man, I really like this mod, the Amy Rose mod. It really changes up how you approach Sonic, because you can't rely on being in a ball to save you. All of your attacks actually have a sense of timing to them, unlike Sonic, who just sort of spins with every jump. Yeah, there's actually quite a number of mods on there, and a lot of useful ones too. Like there's mods to translate the games into like Portuguese and French and all that. Not just character replacements like this, but actual useful things that people will find really good depending on what your native language and your preferences are. So, Steam has that going for it too, and it's all free, of course. As most mods are. God, it just... the thing about the console version just boggles my mind. I don't understand it. I didn't do online play, because I don't care about online play. I'm here for the games, not for playing with people. I don't care about online play in any game, modern or retro. I don't even play Splatoon online. And I like Splatoon. I'm sure as heck not going to try and play Streets of Rage online. I don't care. I'm just going to sit and play it, and have some fun with it. Get a Chaos Emerald Amy. I don't actually know if there's a Super Amy. That would actually be pretty cool. I assume that would be a lot of effort though. I'm pretty sure these sprites are supposed to be ripped from the Game Boy Advance game or something like that. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember her wearing that outfit in any of the other games. I don't know. Someone might have actually custom built this Amy sprite, and that would be pretty spectacular too. But yeah, that's all there is to that. So you have Amy mods, you have all sorts of interesting mods on there. And of course, there are also mods to do something interesting. Like put in versions of games that even with their Japanese American thing kind of didn't do. Is that people will mod in versions of games that were never released in America? At least a couple. Like here, about Dr. Eggman's Mean Bean Machine is replaced with Puyo Puyo, the original. That Mean Bean Machine was basically modded from in the first place. Unfortunately, it's not translated. I wish it was. I know there's no official translation, but I'm sure there can be a fan translation. Maybe someone will do that at some point. But I just love that they went and actually basically put another game. It's the Sega, it's the Steam Workshop. Sega has to know what's there. So they basically said, okay, this isn't an American thing, so let's just allow it. And that's awesome. So you can actually go back and play the original Japanese version of Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Puyo Puyo. My first experience with Puyo Puyo was actually on the Switch. The Puyo Puyo versus Tetris game, which was interesting. I'm terrible at it, by the way, just in case you couldn't tell. I could not possibly be worse at this game. I actually got stuck in the Switch game just because I couldn't play it. Ugh. I wish I was better, because it actually seems like a really good game. Really solid. Well, yeah, another reason to pick up the... I'll just go ahead and say it now. If you're at all interested in the Sega Genesis Classics collection that was just released, get the Steam version. It is better in every conceivable way. There is no advantage to getting the PC version. It even has multiplayer and VR support, weirdly enough. Apparently the VR is just, it makes you feel like you're actually sitting in the room that acts as the menu for the games, which is incredibly meta. Sitting in a room wearing a headset so that you can feel like you're sitting in a room playing a video game, which is just, it hurts my head. But yeah, that's something you can do too. So yay for Steam yet again. And yes, I lose pretty badly here on stage 4. And just for a second, I will go ahead and prove that the Echo games are on here. These aren't modded in. They're not hacks, they're not mods. They're actually part of the bundle that is sold to you on Steam for $30. All 3 Echo games. I've never actually played Echo Jr. I know Echo 1 and 2 had like enemies and goals and stuff. Apparently this one was a lot more kid-friendly. It's not awful. It has some weirdly ominous music later. But it's basically a scavenger hunt. And using the sonar and tracking it and having to get around obstacles is kind of neat in itself. It's not a bad little game. But I don't know if it's something I would want to sit and play all the way through. I don't know, maybe someday I'll do that. But, you know, probably won't record it or anything. There's just no reason to. Also, I don't understand the rampant crystal genocide. I thought the crystals were a good thing in the other games. Apparently they are evil. I also don't know how an orca can leap out of the water like a dolphin. If orcas could actually do that, nobody would ever go near the water. It would be a suicide run. This orca's flying 50 feet out of the ocean. No, nobody's going near that ocean. Forget that. And then I'll end off with my favorite mod that I found so far. Yay! Everything is improved for the half genie hero in it. Even if she's half the size of everyone else. I mean, you can imagine her looking like that, right? She comes from a magical land of magic. She's a genie. She can be whatever size you want her to be. There's something hilarious about it to me. Yeah, I'm not gonna be sitting here and doing a full review of it. I mean, to me, the collection, I don't know if it's worth the money. I mean, that's really up to you. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it's worth the money, oh, it's not, oh, it doesn't have enough bonus features, oh, yes, it does. But I just wanted to kind of put out a PSA that even if you're put off by the console version, you can still look into the Steam version. It's cheaper, it has more features, it has workshop support, it has more games. It has a lot of the key games that are missing from the console versions. So even if you're not interested in the console game version, and I wouldn't blame you, the PC version, the Steam version at least, definitely presents a much cleaner value. I mean, like I said, it's $30 for 60 games. That is roughly 50 cents a game, which is a phenomenal value, really. Blows other game collections out of the water for the most part, unless you're looking at like Atari collections. Those might be a better value. But for games that actually feel like games instead of prototypes that will someday become games, yeah, you can absolutely see. I can actually see people buying this, enjoying it, and because it's on Steam, you're not gonna have to replace it someday. I mean, the Steam version, until the Steam server is shut down, which that's something that'll happen anytime soon. If you're obsessed with having a physical version, you probably have a physical version somewhere, somehow, of most of these games. Let's be honest here. So if you just want a version that will stay with you forever, that you can keep playing, yeah, I would say go ahead and get the Steam version of Sega Genesis Classics Collection. It has amazing games, good time, some good workshop support, and I think that's about all there is to say about it. The rest is up to you. Oh, and I particularly like that you can rip the cartridges out of the console. It's like old-fashioned rage quitting. Just you die and you just rip it out. That's probably the best feature of the entire game.